Hey guys, welcome back to another scripting tutorial. And in today's tutorial, I will teach you guys how to make a custom explosion. Okay, so I'm gonna go in the workspace and just place an explosion. Oh, and it was there, as you guys can see. Let me do that one more time. Ah, yo, look at that. That looks fresh, man. I don't know about you. And then, so every time that the explosion is added, it will just have a bunch of particles and it will create this explosion that destroys over time. So, I will show you guys how to make this. I have it in the server script and I have the model in replicated storage. So if you guys want to get this templates, just basically I will leave it in the description, the model, and all you have to do is just drag it into your workspace. Once you get it, should be in your toolbox in your inventory once you get the model. And so just drag it. Oh, we already did that. So you will get a sounds and an emit explosion, same thing that I have here. And the sounds folder is pretty simple. It just has the explosion types. You can add more sounds in here too. There's no issue with that. And then the rock sounds, you know. So like this, ba, ba. And yeah, and then it also comes with the emit explosion, which basically just plays it for us. So that's the model. It will be in the description. But pretty much, I have no credit over these particles. Okay, I got these particles from a man named Chamberlain. Okay, and I just gotta say this guy's amazing. Here, let me just search him up for you guys. So I'm gonna go in the toolbox. I'm gonna go to filter and search him up. Chamberlain. That's his name, bro. And yeah, I found him his YouTube video where he made a realistic explosion, and I saw that he scripted those, but I wanted to make a better way of doing that by just simply by adding the explosion in workspace, so it just rewrites the default explosion particles. Okay, that's basically what we're doing. But as you guys can see, he's made a lot of stuff. He's made like freaking dope stuff, man. I'm serious. That's a here. Let me show you this. It's a crashed plane. Where is it? Then spawn in. Okay, that doesn't work. Oh, there it is. Um. Oh, it's in the sky. That's why. Yeah, bro, he's made a lot of amazing stuff. I'm just saying, man. Like everything that he's done, it's just phenomenal. If you guys just look at the amount of things that he's made, man, I'm just impressed, bro. He's made that tank. Look at that tank, bro. Look at that tank. Oh, it's upside down, is it? No. That tank is amazing. He made this, man. I don't know how he did it, but he made it. He's like a World War II frenzy guy, bro. He does a lot of, he does Spartans too. I saw everything that he's done, bro. Oh shoot, my game is lagging. I did not, I put a Spartan. Okay. Oh my gosh. How? Oh, it's running, that's why. Yo, I was wondering, the game's running. Oh, I thought I was on test mode. Okay, so the game's running. That's why that fell out. I was like, what the frick? Is Roblox broken? Nah, it's because we're testing still. Okay, so physics are still emulating. So we have the Civil War. Where is Civil War? That's weird. It's just like when we test, when we're on play, it's not putting it where we put it. But yeah, he has a lot of stuff, man. Like, if you're gonna use this guy's models, definitely give him a shout out, bro. This guy did all of this, and yeah, his model will be in the description. He basically has a whole list of particles, and pretty much I just basically stole them, and like made my own explosion, and I just showed you guys that explosion. So yeah, definitely want to give him credit for that. I can't just steal his stuff. You know, that just wouldn't make sense. But yeah, this dope man, dope man. I'm just saying, Chamberlain, bro. That guy's probably the best builder I've ever seen. But anyways, let's just begin with the video. So I have my script here. I'm just gonna delete it. And so all you guys have right now is the sounds and then the emit explosion. If you guys want to make a custom explosion for yourself and you don't like the one that I made, then go by all means just add it in and it will work with the script, so it will work perfectly. I have a point light. Point light's kind of glitchy, that's alright. And I have all these particles. with different settings thanks to Chamberlain. He's the one that did it all, bro. He's the one that did it all. So anyways, I will just script it in server script service very simply. So we're in server script service, and we want to get replicated storage. We'll do rep storage equals game.replicated storage. Then we want to get local debris, because we can get debris, game.debris. Then we want to get local collection service. And collection service is just going to indicate to us if the item's already been used, okay? Because the process we're going to be doing it might include multiple reruns, and I just don't want to take risks. And I'll show you guys what I mean. And then we're going to print, we'll make a string called used equals used, okay, with the string. And now we're going to get the items in replicated storage. So we got the sounds folder, and sounds equals rep storage dot sounds. So we're going to do local, oh actually get the children, because we can take advantage of that. Once we get the children of, oh no, not sounds. Sounds is just a folder. We want to get the explosion. So sounds dot explosion, and then get the children of that. So explosion, get children. There you go. And so we just call this actually we'll call this S explosion. Okay, so that means pretty much abbreviation sounds explosions. Okay, because it's multiple sounds. So S explosions, so sounds explosions. And now we're just gonna get the number of it. So we'll do num explosions equals hashtag S explosions. So it just gives us the number. It gives us the total number of explosions in there. And then we also need to get the rocks. So S rocks. And I'm pretty sure I showed you guys the rock sounds. Just different rock sounds on the floor. Sounds pretty professional. And then the explosions, of course. Very loud. And yeah, we'll call this script explode. Actually, we'll call this main script. Main script. Okay, in server script service, we have everything sounds. Yeah. All right. So S rocks equals rep storage dot sounds dot S rocks or rocks, and then get the children. Okay, so get children again, so we just know that we're gonna get the children one time. We don't have to get the children multiple times, just to save storage. That will just help us a lot with scripting. Well, not just scripting, for efficiency. So num rocks equals S rocks hashtag S rocks. So that gives us the total number of sound rocks. Okay, so now we did that. Now we're going to actually start scripting our local function, and this local function will be called new descendant. Okay, descendant, like that. And then the thing that will pass through is automatically the descendant or the item. Okay, I would just call it item. So this is going to connect to workspace dot descendant added. Okay, equals connect new descendant. Okay, so pretty much this is gonna listen to whenever anything is added in workspace. Okay, so this is a pretty costly type of connection, but you guys should definitely take full advantage of that and use multiple type of things in here. You could combine this with a character added. And instead of doing player.character added, character added equals this. You should just make it in here, and it's definitely possible to make player.character added in this. I will probably make a video on that just to explain to you guys how you can do this and how you can save space. But you can make a player.character added with descendant added, and that will make your game much more faster. Okay, so we have a new descendant. That's our function name, and then we have the item that automatically is passed to the descendant added connection. Okay, now we're gonna check if it was already used. So we're gonna do if collection service has tag, and then we're gonna pass in the instance, which is the item, and then we're gonna put used. Okay, so if it has the used tag on the item, then return the script, or don't continue the script. and then we're just gonna give it the tag. So collection service give tag, or no, add tag. So that basically gives it, and we're gonna put it inside of the item and put used. So this gives it a hidden tag called used. Okay, now we're gonna check what the item is. Okay, because anything can be added into workspace. Why am I saying okay too much? Okay. Alright, anyways, item can be anything. Alright, so we're gonna check give item a function. That's basically what we're gonna be doing right here. So we're gonna check if item semicolon is a explosion. So we're gonna check, is it an explosion? Alright, and then continue the script. And you can do else if item is a model or is a base part. You can do many things, and this could be like new map added or something. You could give it your maps a tag. If you don't know what tags are or how they're used with collection service, I definitely recommend you guys check out my the best way to make kill parts video, and that explains how to use collection service. So I will link that in the corner right now if you guys want to check that out. But anyways, you would probably want to tag it and say if item is a model, or if my item is collection service, if the item has the tag, map. Let's just do that right now. So if collection service has tag, we'll call this map. Okay, so you're gonna tag all your maps in server storage being added into workspace, and this is just gonna be a detection for maps. So you can definitely take full advantage of New Descendant. And then if you want to check if it's for characters added, so you can save space with that, do if item is a model. Okay, because a character is a model. And then over there you can say, oh, is it a player? So you're gonna do we're gonna get the players, local players equals game.players, and then we're gonna check, is it a player? So we're gonna do players get player from character, and then we're gonna pass in the item. So yeah, this is gonna check, basically give us if player, then that basically means new character added in workspace. There you go. So we basically just made a custom character added. But anyways, let's just get back to the video. We're being off topic. I just wanted to help you guys with that, because you should not waste this Descendant added. Definitely combine your scripts together. So we have if item is an explosion, then we're gonna create well, actually we're gonna make the default explosion off. We're gonna turn it off. So item.visible equals false. So that just basically hide default explosion. Okay, and definitely you can lean this out more, put it in a folder, like call this instances, put it inside there. Let's do that because it's more neat, and combine all your instances. Oh, I have another part, I want to add in there and all that. And you guys can like change up the default explosion. So yeah, when we add an explosion, you can see all the default things from the explosion, the blast radius, the blast pressure, it just destroyed. Yeah, other stuff in there too. You can pretty much rewrite the entire explosion script before it's actually placed in the workspace, change the position, all that. But you would usually be doing that like in an RPG script or something. So that's where you would be like explosion.position equals that. You would put that in your RPG script per se. And then you do like, yeah, you could do it here too. You can put break joints on death equals false. That makes it so it's not killable. Won't kill players because it breaks joints, and it breaks the neck joint. It's a joint in a player's neck, and that's the reason why your character dies. So we're gonna turn that off so it doesn't destroy any welds. Welds like connections, constraints. Doesn't destroy any constraints. And now we have to actually make a new explosion. So we have to get the new explosion. We're gonna do local emit explosion equals rep storage because we have it identified, and then we call it Where is emit explosion? Emit explosion. Oh yeah, so I put it in an instances folder. Right, yeah, put it in an instance folder. That's the one thing I just changed as I paused it. I put it in an instance folder just because it seemed more neat. And the reason I did that was because you definitely just don't want to leave it in Replicated Store. It's just not neat. It doesn't feel comfortable for the scripter, and it's not even a big issue with having it in a folder. You wouldn't want to have this like everything unneat in here, so you just put it in an instance folder, and you could put all other instances in here. Like I have another part in it from a separate script. I could put my other instance in this folder. You know, multiple instances can be in this folder. So yeah, just to make your scripts neater, then we just do instances dot emit explosion. Okay, like that. And now we're gonna just clone it. So we're gonna create a new explosion. Local new explosion equals emit explosion, and then we're gonna clone it. Okay, semicolon clone. Now we're gonna make the new explosion dot name, no, not name, dot position equals the item dot position. Okay, so wherever the explosion is placed, the new explosion will be placed as well. Okay, and now we just parent it to the workspace. So new explosion dot parent equals workspace, just like that. Now after we basically just create new explosion, the next thing we want to do is activate the particles. So activate explosion. That's the next thing we need to do. And I'm going to use a for I, v, and pair loop. So for I, v, and pairs, that just loops through our items. So pretty much for I, v, and pairs gets all of the children in emit explosion. And we're going to do new explosion get children, just like that, and we'll be checking what it is. So we'll do if v is a particle emitter. Okay, so that means is it this? Is this a part? This is a particle emitter, as you can see here. So it checks if it's one of these guys, one of these blue dudes. And if it is a particle emitter, we're going to enable it. We're going to put v.enabled equals true. Now we want to actually disable it as well. And how we would do this, well, we would use a quarantine.wrap, and that just creates a new thread. Because what I was thinking would be like, for a beginner's brain, it would be like, oh, we have to wait, we have to add a wait. And let's say we want to keep it on for like, 1 second per se. And then we just do v.enabled equals false, right? So this basically means if it is a particle emitter, turn it on, and then turn it off after 1 second. And the only problem with this is that it's going to yield our pairs, our looping, okay? Because if it waits 1 second, then it's going to wait 1 second for each particle. And we don't want to yield the thread, because we're basically yielding this entire thread by doing that. And everything below it is going to be slowed down as well. So we don't want to do that. Well, the other stuff we're going to be adding is going to be slowed down as well. So we're going to be creating a new thread. And how we do that is we do quarantine.wrap, and we have to create a function, because it says quarantine.wrap function. So we'll create a function above it, and let's just remove these enabled equals false. We'll do local function deactivate. So we're going to be turning it off. That's what it's called, deactivate. And then we'll make v.enabled equals false. That's what we're going to be doing. And over here we can add a wait. So we're going to add a simple wait 0.3 seconds. And we're going to put this inside deactivate. Just like that. And now it looks pretty innocent. It looks like it will work. But now we didn't call it. So the thing about coroutines, we didn't call it. And we have to just put 2 parentheses like that. So that's going to create a new thread to call our function. So it doesn't delay our looping, and it doesn't delay our entire script. So that's how we would do that. So this wait right here won't affect any other thing in the thread. Okay. Now we're going to check if the item is a point light, or yeah, if it's a point light. So if v is a point light. And over here we are going to be getting tween service, and pretty much let's get tween service, local tween service equals game get service tween service. And tween service is pretty cool. If you guys don't know what it is, I definitely recommend you guys search it up and try to learn about it. But we're going to be creating it, and this basically makes it so light fades in then out. That's basically what we're going to be doing with tween service. So we're going to do local tween in or light in. Let's do light up, because it's going to be doing both at the same time. That's how good tween service is, and it won't be yielding the thread, it won't be yielding the loop. So the next thing we need to do is get tween service. So we do tween service semicolon create, and then we need the object or v, and then tween info.new. And so this is going to be our type of tween pretty much. And then the time, so this is like the lifetime. So I would say 0.4. So it's going to fade in for 0.4 seconds and then fade out for 0.4 seconds. And then the enum.easing style. So there's different styles of the fading in and fading out. We're just going to make it linear. So it's going to be a normal in and out. I'm going to do enum.easing direction in and out, because that's what we're doing, in and out. And then the repeat count. So we don't want to repeat it. And yeah, we don't want to repeat it. If we added 1, then it would repeat. It would go twice, but we don't want to do that. So we want to keep it 0. And then now we want to say, do we want it to reverse? So bool reverses. And so that means, do we want it to reverse? So yes, we want it to reverse in and then reverse coming out. Okay? And then the delay. So 0. Alright, so that's our tween info. Tween info.new, going glitchy there. Local light up tween service create v tween info.new 0.4 blah blah. You know what I'm saying? It's a long list for just the tween info, but that's how it works. Like, unless if you just want the time, then you wouldn't have to add the rest. But because we want to reverse it, we have to add the entire list. I wish there was a way to fix that, but that's alright. So tween info.new 0.4, choose the styles and make it true. That's just the only reason I made it longer, just to make the reversing true, the tween info. So next we get our table. So we get set, this has to be what is it called, curly brackets. This has to be curly brackets. That's how we create a new table. So this right here is a curly bracket, and we're gonna be getting the items or the properties inside of point light. So we have brightness, click on this, okay, brightness, and we're going to be giving it a goal. So what do we want the brightness to be? And right now it's at 0, so I want to make it to 12. So brightness is at 12. That's what I want it to turn into. And I want the range, so the amount of range, let's say 12 again. So the brightness and the range is going to be 12. Okay, that's what it's going to be building up when we play this. And now we just have to call it. So we do light up, and then semicolon play, just like that. So that's just going to play our point light. So this is going to basically fade in and fade out point light. Point light. So fade in and fade out point light. That's what it does. That's why I love tween service. It doesn't even yield the thread. That's why it's amazing, you know. And that's going to be playing, and yeah, that's how we activate the explosion. The next thing we want to do is make the sounds. So we're just going to be doing create random sounds. Alright, and in our sounds folder, let's go take a look at that. We have the rocks and the explosion. We already identified it above. Mid explosion sounds, all that. Rocks, the amount of rocks and the amount of explosions. So the amount of items in each. That's what num and num rocks is. So after, so we need to get a random explosion sound, okay? Because we have multiple explosions and we just want to choose one sound. So how we do that is we just do local random sound. Random explosion, okay, random explosion equals, then we get S explosions, and then explosions. Why is it X explosion? I thought I did X explosion. S explosions. Okay. S explosions. Bracket. And then we do math dot, oh, not math dot random. Actually, we're going to be creating it with a new randomization method. And this is called, well, I'll call this scatter for the variable, but it's called random.new. Okay, this is a new method of doing randomization, and I love it because you can choose to use decimal points. That's why I love this over math.random. And if you don't know what math.random is, it's the default randomization that everyone uses. But I'm using the new version, which is random.new. And then in this bracket, we put in tick, and this just makes it so it refreshes the randomization seed, so we don't get the same random items. Because every time this runs, then it's going to create a new random seed. Okay, same thing as math.random seed. Okay, so scatter, that's what I called it, scatter. And then we do next integer. Okay, so integers are whole numbers. You don't want to use this with decimal points. So next integer, and then we same thing with math.random. We do 1 and then the number. So the number of explosions. So the num of explosions. Explosions. My bad, guys. I updated the script before. Well, like, I stopped the game, so my script updated. But yeah, it was when we were scripting it together, it had an S at the end, I'm pretty sure. So S explosion. So pretty much the video is pretty much safe. I hope that it's in order. But num explosions. So we choose a random explosion, and after we do that, get random explosion. And then what do? So we get a random explosion, then we parent it. We parent it to our explosion position. So our what is it? The items position, or the new explosions, because the new explosion is the emit explosion. So we're gonna parent it to new explosion. So new explosion, and then we're just gonna play it. So we're gonna do random explosion. Just play, just like that. So new explosion parent equals workspace, and then random explosion play. And so now this is where I would add debris service. So we would do debris, add item, and then the new explosion. Okay, so we're going to be adding this to debris service, and then the given time. We'll do 12 because it's going to take a long time for the moving smoke to fade out. So this is the smoke that lasts the longest, and as you can see here, the lifetime is 12 seconds. So we're going to put debris, add item, 12 seconds. So this is going to remove our new explosion from the workspace after 12 seconds. And over here, this is where we're going to be creating create random rock sounds. Okay, so we're going to be playing random rock sounds at random given times, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that, you know, random rock sounds, pretty cool. And now we have to just create a for I equals 1, and then we're gonna do scatter again, scatter, and then this time we do actually next integer again, next integer, whole numbers. So we do 1 of let's do 2. So 2 of number of random number of rocks. Okay, do. So this right here is basically saying loop this table 1 time, starting at 1, and then over here is the goal. Okay, so loop this table for one time. So loop the table 1 time, and then over here is the goal. So it's gonna choose a random number between 2 and then the number of sounds. Okay, so we have 8 sounds. So between 2 and 8, this basically means 8. Okay, Numrocks means 8 because there's 8 children inside of rocks. That's what hashtag above it says hashtag srocks does. Okay, so we're gonna get math.random 2 and then out of 8. So it's gonna choose a random number. It might choose 7, might choose 6, might choose 4, but it's gonna be between 2 and 8. And so that's the numbers that I chose for that. So it's gonna say do this 1 out of 8 times. Let's say if it got the number 8 out of 2, between 2 and 8. Okay, so for I equals 1 of 8, do this 8 times. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Basically the same thing as a for I v in pairs loop, but this is the looping through the folder. Okay, but this one create a random rock sound, so we're gonna just get a new random rock. So local random rock equals scatter. Oh no, not scatter. We're gonna do srocks, so get the rocks table, and then we're gonna get the index using brackets. So bracket scatter, and then next integer again. Okay, next integer. Then we do 1, and then the number of rocks. Okay, the number of rocks again. So this is just gonna choose a random rock a number of times, and after it chooses a random rock, we're gonna do random rock dot parent equals the new explosion. Okay, and then we do random rock play. So we're gonna play our new sound. Okay, and after that we have to add a weight, and the weight's gonna be randomized as well, so it's gonna make random rock sounds at different given moments, like 0.1 seconds, like poo, 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 pa, pa, stuff like that, you know. Random rock sounds at random times. So it's gonna loop through a multiple of times. Between 1, the least amount is 2 because I put 2 here. See that? So if I put 1, then this could possibly run only 1 rock sound, but I want to have at least 2 rock sounds run, or a chance of 2 rock sounds to run at 2. So I'm going to keep it at 2. So this is going to run by 2 times or 8 times, or between those 2. And then we're going to add a weight. So the weight's going to have a delay between each, and we're going to do scatter again, and then next number. Okay, next number is for decimal points. Okay, pretty much for decimal points and integers, but I want to keep it for decimal points because that's how this thing works. If we put a decimal point with next integer, it won't work, but for this one we can put decimal points. Next number. So next number, do points. Let's do 0.01, and then the between, let's say 0.7. So it's gonna wait between 0.01 or 0.7 randomly. So it's gonna wait and choose a random number between that. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty fast. 0.7 is pretty quick. Maybe make it 0.5. Nah, 0.7 is pretty good. So it's gonna wait randomly, choose a random number between those 2 numbers, and it's gonna run it multiple times. And the explosion is gonna destroy. And yeah, everything is looking great. Everything looks like it will work. And did I clone this? No, I did not clone this. So we have to actually clone these new randomized things. We have to clone it, clone, and then clone. Okay, so clone as well. So that's so it doesn't make a parental lock, because if we just took it out of workspace without cloning it, then we can't get it ever again because we're not cloning it. So we have to clone it so it doesn't make a locked item, because we can't just get the same item multiple times without cloning it. Alright, so we cloned it, and yeah, everything should work. Now let's run our game and let's see how things work. So we're gonna run the game, and hopes up, man, hopes up. We're gonna go on workspace. We're gonna make put the explosion. Oh, okay, that looks amazing. No errors whatsoever, and yeah, it works perfectly. Oh, what was that? What about the light? Let me see the light. Yeah, works amazing. Everything works perfectly, guys. I'm really happy about this. Everything worked. You know, stuff is pretty cool. I recommend that you guys check out my custom weight tutorial, because I would not recommend using weight with small numbers. So I'll link that right here if you guys want to check out that video, because weight is not really accurate with small numbers, especially if your game's lagging. It could yield way longer than you think. So if you guys want to check out that video, I will link that right in the corner again. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you make a custom explosion. When you make that's loud. It must be really loud for you guys. But when you make an RPG, once you set the explosion position and all that, this will just replace it. So you don't have to do anything else with the explosion. Basically, it's basically rewriting the default explosion. And I turned off break joints, so that means it doesn't kill anyone. But yeah. I will also leave a way to make a custom explosion script to damage a player in the description. And I found this in the dev forum, so this makes it so there's like a radius explosion. So I'll leave that script or that dev forum page in the description as well. So if you want to make a radius damaged explosion, definitely check that out. And that would make it so break joints is false, so you don't break joints, but you get hit by damage from the radius. Alright, and yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you make a custom explosion. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Definitely like and subscribe for more content like this one. Thanks once again, Chamberlain, for being such a great YouTube and Roblox creator. Definitely check out his YouTube channel. Follow him, man. Okay, I forgot to say that. Follow this guy. Okay, if you are gonna take his stuff, or if you're watching this video, follow him. Okay, I'm gonna leave his profile in the description as well. And yeah, I'm talking too much, but you take care now. It's been a pretty good night, and I hope you guys have a good day, good night, and all that. Bye bye.